What's up, guys? Omar Isaf here. In this video today, and by we I mean me, myself, and we're going to be talking about the best training advice I was ever given. Really, passed down through the last several years of lifting. I've learned a lot from people smarter, with more experience. I'm going to share that today. What has helped me? I made another series, the worst training advice I was ever given, and that was when I first started lifting. I didn't know what I was doing, and a lot of people offered advice, and a lot of times it wasn't good advice. It hindered my progress. So today, I'm going to distill some of the best wisdom I've been given. Point number one, failure is free. This was told to me by Sean Kelly, owner of Fortis Fitness, when I failed my 565-pound deadlift last year, my deadlift attempt. And what he meant, at first I was like, failure's free, I really don't get it. He meant that it is a diagnostic tool. When you fail, it informs you what you need to do, because your whole plan, everything you wanted, right? You're training up for this event to deadlift 565 pounds, and it didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Well, then you have to go back and take a look. It lets you know, right? It's a marker that what you're doing was not working out. And more to the point, when he was saying, failure's free, he was talking about even more than that. He was saying that too often, there's really two sides of the equation. On one hand, you got YOLOs, they fail far too often, they don't know what they're doing, their plan is not intelligent. On the other hand, you got the guys that are scared. Or maybe they're too hesitant when it comes to lift the weight. When it's that time to attempt a 1 rep max, they get nervous in the service and they fail prematurely. So when he says failure is free, he's really saying go for it. Go ahead and attack that one. Try it out, right? Failure, it's not this huge setback that occurs. Oh man, the last 6 months have been bullshit. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. No, it tells you what you need to do, what you need to fix, and you shouldn't be afraid of failure actually happening. Which leads me to my second point, right? Attack the weight. Something Jeremy will routinely say. You can't leave any room for doubt up here. When it's time to lift the weight, you have to be aggressive. He said, Donnie Schenkel said, you gotta pick the bar up like you're ripping the head off of a goddamn animal. A lion, I believe, is what he said. Very powerful. There's been others. Andrei Malenichev, I'm gonna put a quote of his. What he said, essentially the same thing. When it's time to lift the weight, you gotta lift the weight. You can't leave any room for doubt. You can't be contemplating Hamlet style to lift or not to lift. You gotta get down and tear that shit off the ground, or squat or bench, whatever it might be. But when it is time to lift, you must be absolutely focused on that, and you can't doubt yourself. Getting back to that first point, that failure is free. Yeah, you should attempt the weight, but when you attempt the weight, you have to give 110%. When you got a job to do, you gotta do it well. You can't leave, as I said, any room for doubt. And that really bleeds over to the next point I want to talk about, right? Which is that you should train your weaknesses. How are you going to get better? A lot of times, we're suckers for doing what we love, right? I love to deadlift, so I deadlift a lot. On the other hand, maybe doing a high bar squat a couple years ago wasn't really my thing. I didn't like it because it required more mobility from me. I was weaker in that position. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to stick to low bar squatting. But it revealed a major weakness, right? My posterior chain was stronger, my quads needed work, and really, because I felt so weak doing it, I didn't enjoy it. However, that weakness was limiting me from making gains. And all too often, we like to play, train your favorite body part, right? What do you like to train the most? What exercise do you like to do the most? And really, you'll see this big disparity over time. You become phenomenal at squatting or at bench pressing to the detriment of another exercise because you don't give it enough attention. And eventually, that'll bite you in the ass when you develop either, imbalances, or you're not simply as strong as you could be. Same idea when it comes from an aesthetic standpoint, right? Looking at your physique. And that's why I made that joke, I made that video. Yes, I don't like training arms, but I still train arms. You cannot like to train something, but you still gotta do it. Or you might not like an exercise, but really it's telling you that it's something most likely you need to work on. Final point I want to make right here, wrapping it kind of all up. When I said failure's free, you should attack the weight. You should not train like you're a beaten dog. And what do I mean when I say this? I see too many guys, YOLOs, right? When I first started lifting, the concept, everyone said, it's that last rep, that last set that last inch that builds the muscle, that's it. That's the one right there. And so you'd really push yourself on every single exercise, every single set, every single repetition. You would train to failure. The problem is your body's not built that way in order to progress. Just simply put, it will not work. You'll burn yourself into the ground. And what I see all too often, and what I did my first year of lifting until I was corrected by someone very smart at the University of Windsor, you shouldn't train, the phrase became, like a beaten dog, where essentially for some people it might be therapy, right, that they're doing, they're working out certain things. Other individuals, they want to progress, so they think the harder I train every single session, the more progress I'll make. When in reality, the grand scheme of things, progress is not linear, it's more like a wave, where you gotta cycle your intensity, right, between high intensity to a more moderate amount, balancing both volume and intensity. So the summary of that is that too often we'll get into that mindset, I gotta go ham today, and we don't auto-regulate. We don't listen to our body, right, what we should be doing. So we overtrain ourselves, we become burnt out, and we're not making that progress that we should. We stay stuck at that, $135 bench press for several years, and that's just sad. That's a sad and lonely place. So guys, those are perhaps some of the four best pieces of advice I was given, right? Failure's free, attack the weight, make sure you train your weaknesses, and don't train like a beaten dog. Train smart and hard, right? Don't just go ham. That's the video, guys. Share below in the comments section some of the best advices you were given when you first started lifting, or even now. We're all still learning on this journey. Thank you for watching this video. Like the video if you liked the video, and rascals, I'll see all you guys in that next video.